Morning, viewers. Today we have Mr. Subir Chaki, MD and Executive Director, Kilburn Engineering Limited. Welcome, Mr. Subir, to our show.
Thank you very much.
Share your journey. You've been.
Yeah, I am a graduate mechanical engineer from IIT Kharagpur, and then I also happen to be a cost accountant and then management graduate from IIM Calcutta. Most of my service career I spent with an FMCG company, Eveready Industries, which is the third largest manufacturer of dry cell batteries in the world and third largest manufacturer of flashlights in the world. So I have spent most of my time over there, and I joined as a graduate engineer. I moved out when I was the president operations, and then from there I joined SAIG Engineering, which is also a group company incidentally, but that was a capital goods industry which is completely different, which produces crushers, screens for the mineral mining sector. And in the last 2 years I've been working in Kilburn Engineering Limited, which again is also a group company, which is in the chemical industry.
So, Mr. Chaki, based on your experience, you must have observed many organizations. You are also part of the CIA. You are in a senior position there. So you have participated in various industry forums. So what is your view, Mr. Chaki, towards the importance of market intelligence in developing strategies for an organization?
It goes without saying that the market intelligence has to be there. I mean, without that, we would be actually, hitting in the dark. It goes without saying.
But you see, a lot of CXOs and entrepreneurs, specifically, they operate out of that feeling. So while some of them also feel scared or bogged down with a lot of information. So we have seen entrepreneurs who use gut feeling and intuition as a decision-making tool. And we also interacted with the entrepreneurs or CXOs who are basically using data, and they only analyze data and take decisions from there. So how do you balance this?
See, this is something which I must say that this is a dichotomy between a well-read professional and an entrepreneur who is whose intuition is to the extent of being a gambler. You call it intuition, you call it gamble, whatever way you call it risk-taking capability. I have seen, and I'm saying this with my own personal experience because I have interacted very closely and I have seen the way the two minds work. Many times when you have too much of data crunching and when you are looking into too much of data, there is always somewhere a lack of data. The moment there is a lack of data, one suffers from what is called the fear of the unknown. And then that paralysis sense comes up out of fear. Now, I will say this, that the same person who is intuitive and having an immense appetite for risk may not be able to also do an analysis. So these are completely different and contradictory traits. But the key point is that if you know that you are basically intuitive, basically impatient, you don't have the patience to get into the data. Not that you are intuitive just because you want to be intuitive, but because you are impatient, you are incapable of getting into the data. It is not that that it is always a positive trait, but sometimes incapability of getting into a data leads to intuition.
Okay.
So what I will say is that one must realize that one is intuitive and doesn't have the patience to get into the data. In such a case, one must have in one's team people who are the reverse of this. So there must be a balance all the time. You can never wish away data. it is impractical to say you will wish away data. Then it's like betting on something which is completely beyond your control. So I will never say that intuition is the solution. But if someone is intuitive, then a person must have a counter by someone who is almost addicted to data. So there has to be a balance. So what is important is when you say intuition versus this, I will say we need a team, someone excelling in data, someone in intuition.
Good. I think this is beautiful answer. I'm sure this insight will be very useful, especially to the exos who are intuition oriented or entrepreneurs, and this should really help. So now moving on to the next question. So what's your strategy? How do you work on a market research report? What is your frequency? How frequently you go through such reports? And how much time you dedicate to them? Some observation around this.
I do give reasonable time in understanding the data. It always happens as a default. It happens before every board meeting. Mm-hmm. So I have to present the data in a meaningful, sensible manner. I have to get analyze the data so that a path comes out, a logic comes out as to why I am doing something. So by default, I have to do this every quarter. I do an analysis of the industry-wise performances. I do an analysis of what our competitor activity is, and I do an analysis of typically, if I'm talking about say a carbon black industry, I will do an analysis of the tire industry because carbon black is used. The major customer is the tire industry. Again, when I'm talking about tire industry, I'll do an analysis of the automobile industry. So that's how the demand generates. So automobile industry, if it does well, then the tire industry will do well, then the carbon black industry will do well, and I will get orders. So that's how I do the forward projection mapping.
So thank you, Mr. Taki. You have been such a wonderful guest, and you have given us so many valuable insights. Very interesting, very different, very unique. Thank you so much.